Hello and welcome to a new Crusader Kings III playthrough. While we played through the All Under Heaven DLC content, there was one government type that we didn't really touch upon, one area of the map that we didn't really interact with at all, and I feel like it's time to rectify that. So we're going to try out the Wenua government. Now the Wenua government is kind of the equivalent of tribal for this DLC, in that you're able to raid and do other things similar to raiding, and it has a natural upgrade path into a different government type, that being Mandala. So it very nicely fits as like the equivalent to tribal, in the same way that the celestial government is kind of an equivalent to administrative, and the Soryo and Ritsuro governments are equivalent to feudal and administrative in Japan, right? It's kind of another one where they're reusing some mechanics, but they're mixing things up a little bit. So, what is special about Wenua? Well, to start with, from one of the main differences from tribal is that if we have a look at their buildings, one, the buildings are different, but two, they purely cost money. Now, tribal is kind of, it has a little bit of a bonus in that you're able to use prestige as part of the cost for buildings. So you've got some gold cost, some prestige cost, and that makes prestige a much more important resource, but obviously it's much easier to come by. You can also, as tribal, use prestige to buy yourself men-at-arms. However, in this case, we cannot. In this case, we have to spend gold. Now, you might notice this right here. This is our new resource type, and this is what makes everything work for Wenua. That is barter goods. Now, barter goods allow us to do something that isn't just raiding. What we can do is as you might expect, bartering. Now, while raiding is a hostile action where you go and you take loot from somewhere, bartering is as it sounds. You go and trade your barter goods for loot. So, that is at a ratio of 2 to 1. So, for example, if we wanted to get this place's 1 loot, we could raise an army, send them over, and sit here until we gather the 1 loot and then leave. Or we could send a bartering army, go and collect that 1 loot, and then come back home. And we'd trade 2 barter goods for it. So that's kind of the main difference. Now, I said that you could upgrade into another government. It's in a very similar way to how feudal does it. Or not feudal, how tribal to feudal does it. In that, you reform your faith, press the button, and all of a sudden, you are then a new government type. And we'll get into what the Mandala government does a little bit later when we get there. For now, all you need to know is that they're going to try and get a lot of tributaries, and we may actually want to be their tributary, because we gain legitimacy from being a tributary. So essentially, we're not really aiming to be independent, we're not really aiming to be hostile to other people. Right away, our main goal is just to gather barter goods, get an army, send the army out somewhere, trade our barter goods for loot, come back, use that gold that we've got to build more buildings, which gives us more barter goods, which we can then trade for loot, which we can then use to build more buildings, and so on and so forth. Then, when we start to think about expanding, our goal is going to be to look at this. So these are the main holy sites of our faith, which if we get 3 of them will then allow us to reform our faith, which will then, hopefully then, allow us to adopt the Mandala government, and then we can see what that's all about. So that's roughly our playthrough goals here. If anyone has played the governments before or has any tips, please leave them in the comments below. I'm still kind of learning as I go through it, but it seems fairly straightforward from first glance. So, let's start with the normal Crusader Kings type things. Here's us. What is our succession? So currently we're male preference Confederate partition. We have a singular piece of land, so Confederate partition doesn't apply. Confederate partition basically means that, sorry, I'm on the wrong bit here. Yeah, Confederate partition means that your land will split amongst your eligible heirs, but it will also create new titles if it can. So if you have enough land to have 2 duchies, it will create another duchy even if you haven't created it, so it can give it away to your second heir. But in this case, it doesn't matter. We have 1 piece of land and it gets split. First child gets 1, second child gets 0. So fairly straightforward for us. We have an heir. Our heir is 20, so we probably want to find him a spouse, but beyond that, it's a pretty solid succession. We have a second son, which is great, so we have an heir and a spare. And then we have a daughter. Okay. All seems to be pretty okay for now. Let's see if we've got any council positions we can fill in. So immediately, not looking great at this guy. I'd love to put him in a different role. Do I have anyone else? I have my son, but beyond that, nobody else. What can he do? So this guy's... he's okay at being a steward, so let's stick him in as our steward. We'll put in our son here, and then we don't have a marshal, because we don't have enough people. Okay, so one of our early goals is probably going to be to gather ourselves a few extra characters in general. I almost certainly want you on foreign affairs. Yeah, to improve other rulers' opinions of us, because, well, we don't have any vassals, so we don't need our vassal opinion raised. Here, you're currently raising domain taxes by 3.5%. So how much am I earning for my domain? Am I, like, what's the flat amount? The flat amount is 0.22. So I'm getting 3.5% of 0.22. So I almost definitely want you to increase development here. Do I get any benefits from development? I actually don't know. Tribal don't get benefits. Do I get benefits? No. No, I don't. Okay. So yeah, very similar to tribal in that you get no benefits from development. We will get benefits eventually when it stops being a when it stops being a Wenua government holding, but for now, that's fine. Okay, we have a post-raised granary here. So this gives us tax, barter goods, supply, levy size, and some extra damage for our men-at-arms. The holder of this holding gets 1 maximum vassal limit. That's interesting. Okay, so what is our vassal limit? Not that it really matters right now, but that seems like that would be very useful to know. Oh, so our vassal limit currently is 1. So that is our main driving force to leave the our government, is so that we can actually have more vassals. Okay, and our maximum vassal limit is 3. Okay, well that is definitely a huge incentive to switch government type, right? Like that's an absurdly big incentive to switch government type. And our maximum domain limit is 2. So in theory, we can hold 2 domain and then have 3 vassals who can all hold 2 domain. Yeah, it's not great. Although I guess we could have vassals of vassals. If we're able to somehow get to a king rank, we could have vassals of vassals. At which point we can have a little bit more, but still. This is the kingdom here. We need to hold 9 de jure counties to get the kingdom. So yeah, that's going to be cutting it close in terms of being able to get that while being within the limits. You can obviously go outside the limits, but yeah, we'd rather not. In terms of duchies, we're looking for Papua here. So that means that we have to hold 3 de jure counties in here. Okay. So do you just hold 1 here? Yeah, you do. Just the rest of us. There's 1 here as well. 1 here. Okay. Just making sure we have an idea about where all of this, all of these are. Okay, cool. So there's only 4 in total. So we probably want to hold like all of this, and then we can create it. Okay, so that's kind of an early goal for us. Lifestyle. We have 7 diplomacy perks. So we have befriend, we have confidant, flatterer, heart of the family, groom to rule, which is good, I guess. Our children will have already got those benefits, I guess, if it even takes that into account. Each living child gives you a random skill point, so it might be worth getting more children. And then patriarch at the end is what we could get. Do I want that? I guess each friend relation giving you skill points is good. Yeah. I could definitely see this being worth continuing. The other option is we do something like this and try and earn money, but we're earning basically no money from our holdings anyway. Could try and get things for war, but do I even have an army? I have 400 troops. You have 400 troops. Yeah, so this is not really... And this is 297 garrison. So if we were to attack them, we'd be attacking with an army that's roughly the same size, and we'd need to end with above 300 troops to actually siege down their holding. So, like, it's probably a little early for us to go to war, so I'm not really interested in that. Do I even have a Casus Belli, or do I need to... I do. Okay, so I just have the Conquer one, same as Tribal. Okay, so we could do that, potentially. Okay, so yeah, I don't think that this is really worth it for us. Yeah, unless we wanted to, like, really early get centralization to try and boost the development in our holding. But remember, it doesn't actually do anything for us right now. No point doing any scheming, because, like, we've just spawned into the game. Like, I don't think any of that's going to give us benefits. I don't think learning is really our path right now. At some point, we're going to want to get down to profit so we can reduce the Reformation cost, but that might not even be on this character. And then I don't really think that we're doing any wandering stuff either. So yeah, let's stay here. And do I want to gain prestige per month? I guess I could. It would give us some benefits, so it might be worth just going on this one. Or we just gain the 3 diplomacy. But let's go here. Let's gain 1 diplomacy and a prestige per month. That way, if we get anything that costs prestige, we will actually have some to spend. Right. You're not endorsed by your court shaman. What does that mean for us here? So, because there are no church holdings whatsoever, that has no effect. So it doesn't matter that he hates us. It's going to do nothing. Because, you know, he doesn't have any money to give us, even if he liked us. So that's fine. We need a personal physician, which we will definitely get at some point. Although I think, like, doesn't the cheapest cost 10 on the event? Actually, it might scale with level, so it might be cheaper at count level. But anyway, let's have a look at our culture. So, nudists, which doesn't apply for us because I've got that turned off. As in, doesn't graphically apply because I've got it turned off, but that's more of a YouTube thing. So what does this give us? Lustful trait is less common. Stress gain is down. We gain advantage in jungle. Is this all jungle terrain? That's not the terrain one. Is that terrain? Yeah, so this is mostly jungle. Is that a separate one down there? Or is, oh, it's just a different barony. Okay, not a separate holding. Yeah, so most of this is jungle over here. Cool. Kind of makes sense. Jungle danger is down, so if we ever have to travel, that'll be good. Development growth in jungle goes up. Cool, cool, and you get more barter goods in the jungle. Culture blending. So hybrid culture creation cost goes down. So we almost certainly want to create a hybrid culture at some point because, well, we don't have all of our traditions filled out and the cost is cheaper. Okay. And we can use the learn language scheme more often. Cultural acceptance gain is also up. So what we probably want to do with this is find another culture that has a couple of traditions that we want, get up our cultural acceptance, then ditch culture blending when we get that other hybrid culture, and then we can get a couple of different traditions. Isolationist. Idle courtiers are less likely to become wanderers if they're lieges of the same culture. Marriage acceptance towards other cultures is down, very unlikely to arrange marriages outside their own culture. The convert to local culture decision causes stress and is avoided by rulers, so that'll be for the AI. Characters of this culture have a higher chance of plagues not spreading into their lands, so at least we're not going to have plagues. That's kind of good. And then, yeah, you get some better benefits for things, for some countermeasures. It also lowers cultural acceptance game, which is kind of weird given that that one raises it, but anyway. And it lowers your diplomatic range as well. So yeah, we're only able to interact with people of our culture and only within like a very small area. Okay, interesting. And then we get the herbalist trait more often. Okay, I mean that's just nice, but it's, yeah, okay. Our culture is a little bit of a, like, doesn't really do very much for us. How about religion? So, unrelenting faith. Members of the clergy can serve as commanders or champions. That's nice. Hosting feasts in the summer months earns piety. Imprisoned criminals can be sentenced to a sun trial. Don't really know what that means, but I guess we can try it out. Dharmic faiths are considered only astray. Okay. The following religions are dharmic. Buddhist, Hinduism, Jainism, and Zoroastrianism. Okay. So that's fine. What have we got here? Has access to the pilgrimage activity. Great. Faiths from other religious families are considered hostile. Adherents of other faiths will have penalties of 50%. County conversion speed is slower. Counties of other faiths are less likely to join factions. Reduced danger from heresies. Okay. Bastardry is just done by legitimization. Anything not criminal in this slot? No. Okay. And we can have concubines. Alright. We should probably think about that. How old is our wife? Wife is 37. So if we wanted more children in order to trigger our... Yeah, in order to trigger sound foundations, we probably do want to grab a concubine. Do we have any available? Our spy master is intelligent. Okay. Yeah, you seem like a perfect person to be our concubine. Do I gain any benefits from it here? No, and I have no negatives here currently either. Okay, that's fine. Right. Need a new marshal at some point, and I need a personal physician. Or I could just assign somebody. You know what, I'm just going to assign you because you're average, and that's probably the best we're going to get anyway. Wonderful. Do I want you to do any of this? Get you to improve your own skills. I'm wondering whether I want to do this one. But it does cost a quarter of our current income. Which isn't very much, but, you know, I don't know. We could do that. Give us 6% extra monthly lifestyle experience, although I'm not that worried about it. You know what? Spend some of the prestige. Got anything else that's worth actually putting in here? Don't think we need a guru. Caravan master's generally worth it. How much do you cost? Salary when travel starts, it says, is 3. Yeah, no, I don't think I can afford you. I don't think I can afford any of these ones, to be honest. Tutor, I would probably put in if we didn't already have our player heir finished. So, yeah, I think for now we're kind of like in the best position we can be for that sort of stuff. So once we earn a little bit more money, we'll consider putting some more people in. Okay. Anything else that I need to do? I don't think so. I think it might be time for us to... well, actually, let's have a look at our buildings, and then it might be time for us to send out an army to do some bartering. Or to marry off our son. So we need 71 gold. Okay, before we can do anything, we need 71 gold. And can I upgrade this? Yes, but it would cost me 95. Okay. Well, that gives us a rough idea of how much we're looking for before we can actually do anything. So let's raise local barterers here. Right, and then we'll wait a little bit. There you see, we have our barterers, and they can hold up to 42 loot. Right, so we'll move them out in a second, but before we do, we need a guardian for our son. We actually do need a guardian for our son because we don't have a tutor. I think I had an intelligent person, didn't I? So, yeah, you're probably the best guardian. Almost certainly. For my son. Right, and then I'll also need a guardian for my daughter. Who is... Oh, that's the wrong one. Now I'll just redo the button. There we go. Who's going to be the same person. There we go. So you can educate both of them. You're effectively the court tutor even though you're not. Station my men at arms unit. Oh, it's raised currently, so I can't station them. Oh well, whatever. We're not going to go to war anyway. Your son and heir can marry. Alright, well, let's just go through some basic stuff. Can I get an alliance? Yeah, okay, I can get a few alliances. Let's do some just general stuff. Actually, I think I have one set up, right? There we go. So we've reduced that down a little bit. Is there anyone with an inheritable trait who would marry us? So we could potentially get beautiful in here, but we wouldn't get an alliance. Alliances are probably beneficial. Is that the only person who gives us an alliance with my filter on? It is. Okay. So that's the chieftain of Butun. Okay, so where are you? So you're over here. And you have 600 troops. That seems perfectly reasonable as an alliance. Yeah? I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Seems perfectly reasonable. Right, anything else that we need to do before we unpause the game? No, I think we're good to go. Oh, actually what we do need to do is we need to look around for places that actually have loot. Well, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't just go next door and get the loot from there to start with, so let's do it. Our alliance is formed. Let's go. Do I need it? I probably don't need a commander, right, on this army, because it's not really an army. I became the cultural head of the Papuan culture. Oh, that's cool. Alright. Anyway, doesn't really do anything for us right now. Ah, and we get recently bartered in the holding, which gives that holding a bunch of benefits. Okay. Doesn't really mean anything to us, but it's a bunch of benefits. Social manipulation. The first time it happened, I barely even gave it a moment's thought, but my steward Harta has grown bolder. His challenges no longer pass unnoticed at the table. He's testing my limits. The others are sure to follow unless I give him a taste of his own medicine. Okay. So I'm choosing how I'm going to go at him here. So he is paranoid, honest, and compassionate. So I can say that he's self-conscious, or I can guess he's self-conscious. Guess he would do everything in his power to get the task done. Or at least wants people to think well of him. Yeah, let's say all problems are blamed on him. And I've gained my manipulation hook on Harta. The issue Harta brought up used to make me look bad, but now the tables have turned. Every time he raises a subject of concern, I've skillfully shifted the blame back to him, or made him seem petty for even bringing it up. Now he remains quiet, eyes cast low. So we get our manipulation hook on him. Not particularly useful, but, you know, it's fine. Let's head over here next. Actually, you know what would be really good for a commander? If we had an organizer, that would be great. We don't, but it would be great as a way of getting around quicker. And up here, oh, somebody bartered with us. Fantastic. So they give us the same bonuses that we are giving other people. We would like to see. Wait. Oh, I missed it somehow. This one, oh, that is the holding on that one. Okay. Well, it's time for us to head over here now. Continue earning our small amounts of loot. Yep, head over to this one. And continue doing this sort of thing. We may want to try going further afield. Maybe there's somewhere further afield that actually earns us money. Like if we went up to China, would this be potentially better? We can do many things up here. Yeah, let's go for one of those. It's going to be a longer trip, but we might be able to get it all done in one go rather than doing it piecemeal like we've been doing it. Right. Let's head up to this one. We're definitely not in China, by the way. I was thinking about where we are. Wait, are we? No, we might be. I don't know. It's difficult to tell modern day borders without having an equivalent map. Right. I think I'm running out of supplies, which is good. Right. Head in here. Flaw of character. Once I have departed this world, my son and heir, Dharmasika, shall rule in my stead. Unfortunately, rumors of Dharmasiksa's stone-cold heart have been spreading around my court. Makes me wonder if he can handle the responsibilities of Sran and its people once I'm gone. So I can attempt to rectify his flaws. This is his callous nature. Talk of his good qualities or focus on myself. Oh no, let's attempt to rectify his flaws. He has agreed to let me mentor him, even though his enthusiasm is somewhat lacking. I fear his vices are deeply set, but a truly eye-opening experience might make him realize the follies of his way, or the folly of his ways. What should we do? So I can venture into the streets and talk to the poor. So what is he? He's honest and content. Own up to misdeed and make it right again. Okay. Or give away possessions to those in need. Let's venture into the streets and talk to the poor, because he needs to work on his compassion. Alright, I'm also going to head over here. Now, what I don't know is whether I need to have enough goods to get it all from them, or whether I can get, like, part of their loot by bartering. But we'll find out. It was frustrating to observe Dharma Siksa struggling to put himself in the shoes of those less fortunate and feel for them. I doubt he was even trying. I'm almost certain the fault was with his level of enthusiasm rather than my lesson. I'll give him one more chance. The question is, should we try a new tactic, or will persistence win out the day? Do the same thing again. One morning, as I'm getting ready to face the day, my son, Anindita, approaches me. Father, we found this while exploring the hall yesterday. You should have it. 15 gold? Oh, thank you very much. I will take my 15 gold. You found understanding. I'm delighted to see the changes in Dharma Siksa. While he was disinterested at first, the tales of those poor creatures we met seemed to have stirred something in his heart. On our way home, he sat in silent contemplation and has not seemed so callous since then. Ooh, okay. So if I spend the stress, I can make him get compassionate. Or he can just go to fickle, humble, or trusting. Or I can just get the diplomacy lifestyle experience and say I don't care. Is compassionate a, is it a virtue for us? It is not a virtue. Okay. Well, in which case, I might just let him take one of the top ones. Okay, what did he end up with? Wait, that's me. He ended up with humble. Okay, so now he's humble, content, and honest. Divine intervention. Scrash. A flash of lightning really came out of, or the flash of lightning really came out of nowhere. I found myself lying on the ground, dazed but mostly unscathed. Around me, a crowd has started to gather in a small semicircle, one man proclaiming that I had been tested by the divine. Another one insists I am now infused with the essence of the Wata Sue. A quiet man off to the side gives me a calm look and suggests, so Shiva is manifested in our lifetime. So I can say, Shiva, what does this mean? And I convert to an organized Hindu faith. For divinity will have to wait. Okay. So I can convert immediately to an organized Hindu faith and get divine happenstance. This character has encountered an unexpected happenstance, potentially signifying their divinity. And then if I convert to the Mandala government in the next 10 years, it'll be cheaper. And I'll get to keep it. Okay, I'm kind of wanting to explore this government type just a little bit. You know, more than half an episode, so I'm going to say no for now, but maybe later we'll take him up on that offer. So yeah, here we go. I've got loot available. So I've got 5 loot available. However, I cannot take any here. Wait. Oh, actually, no, the problem isn't actually that I have loot available. The problem is that I have no barter goods. Oh, I misunderstood the problem. Oh, in which case, yes, we've got to head back home. I've not got anything to sell. Okay, well, we'll just head back then. Right. I'm assuming I have to come back to hand it in, although it does say I can disband all, which I'm assuming will not do the handing it in part. My daughter-in-law, Mbun, has given birth to a son. Okay. Cool. It's neat. So this is effectively our heir in the future. And our concubine is now bearing our child. Wonderful. Got 37 gold back here, and we don't quite have enough to get a new building. Okay. So I guess I'm going to disband our army and then kind of just chill for a little bit. Do I have anyone new for this? Not yet. Could potentially marry somebody off in our court matrilineally to get somebody in here. Let's see, unmarried court. Yeah, we should probably marry off people in our court just to get some new blood into our court. Oh, I'll clear this for now. Okay. So what am I looking for you? I am looking for maybe just some of all skills or an individual skill maybe? I don't know. I'm probably looking for somebody who is maximum age 35. That's what I'm looking for. So we can have more children in our court at some point. Let's go with you. And then on this one, oh, you're my concubine, so that's fine. You're going to marry matrilineally, and well, I was going to say I'm probably looking for prowess, but do I even care about prowess? Probably not, right? Because I'm not really going to war that often. I probably care about martial, because I don't currently have a martial. That makes a lot more sense. Here. You? Oh, that's my steward, actually. Yes, I don't care about martial on you. Probably just want to pick somebody who has a high skill. So, oh, you're both my courtiers, so I don't really want you two to be the ones I choose. Let's go with this person. Right. Next. Here, matrilineal. And then, let's go for, well, if I've got a high stat somewhere. That's my son, so no on that one. Let's go with this person. Sure, why not? And then next we have you, and you also need to be married off. There's barely anyone on the list. Okay, what's stopping you from being married off? Let's take this away. Matrilineal, you're the only person. Why are people saying no? It might just be opinion of the spouse is too low. Okay, for everyone else, but anyway. Send that one through. Right. New diplomacy perk. Let's grab friendly council. And I currently have no friends, right? That is correct. Okay, well, spy master and concubine. You're definitely going to be the first person that I befriend here. New marshal needed, so that can be you in here. I don't think I care about this, right? About army maintenance, because they currently cost barter goods, and I don't... Well, actually, I don't know. Does this reduce barter goods? Let's have a look. Let's raise local barterers. Because I should be able to see it in here. Oh, sorry, in here, right? 0.4. Barter army. Yeah, so no, that's not reducing the cost. Well, yeah, it's not reducing that cost at all. It doesn't raise anyone else. Yeah, no, I don't think that's doing anything for us. In which case, I'll just put you on trained commanders so that we can potentially find new people. Well, actually, that just gives us knight improved. Oh no, it does give you the chance of finding people. Yeah, yeah. So potentially finding new people would be good there. Right, let's do that. Okay. Do I want to replace my steward? Nope, because the best I've got is equal. So that's fine. Right, I could potentially do some betrothals with my children if I can find people I want them to marry, but we can do a little bit more in here. Do you got any inheritable traits? Nope. What if I remove some of these restrictions? No, nobody has any inheritable traits. Okay. In which case, any alliances? Get an alliance with these guys. So they have 500 troops. Okay. Grab that alliance, that's fine. Yep. Send that one through. And then daughter. What's the best alliance I can get? Get an alliance with this high chiefdom over here. Another 600 troops. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah. Let's just grab alliances all over the place. We can eventually use them to push our power up by calling them into these wars against people who are equally as weak as we are. Right. Fantastic. Still don't have enough to actually build any buildings. Could potentially just get some more barterers here and send them just over this way. Let's do that. Got beneficial deal for 10 years. So, ooh, reduces the cost of buildings by 5%. That's really good. I've been searching and searching, but Malura and I seem to have absolutely nothing in common. Without any common ground, how do I even begin to build a friendship? Like, can we double my efforts, or something will come up eventually? Let's say something will come up eventually. Right. Do you have any, no, you have no loot. I see. Yeah. A lot of this has no loot. Oh well. Head home then. Go here. Actually, wait a second. I can probably just go there, right? I don't need to go back to my holding. I just need to get into my land. I should be able to help along my attempt to befriend Malura by presenting her with a gift. Nope. That sounds like that would cost money. Right. Disband. I should now have just enough, yes, to build something. So what do we want to build? So we can do this one, which will give us 10% more monthly barter goods. That's probably the best one to get, right? Well, or we can get that. How much do I get per month? I get, it says, yeah, okay, so I get 1.4. So I get 1.4, so I can get 10% on, which one was it? I've completely lost it now. On this one. Actually, it's going to be let's say it's going to be 1.3 at the end, and I get 10% of that, which means I get 0.03. So that will give me 0.18 overall. So actually, I'd probably be better off just getting a flat amount, like this one, if I'm looking for just most number of barter goods, and this gives me a 1% bonus as well. And increases my monthly, my maximum vassal limit. Okay. Cool, let's get our war canoes. Let's do it. Right. And my daughter. I have a daughter. Cool. We can probably marry off at some point later. Wonderful. Befriend. I have befriended her. Oh no, we've grown closer to becoming friends with her. Oh, never mind. Not quite what I was looking for. I was kind of looking at becoming friends with her. Can I do it again? No, I cannot befriend her for another 30 years. So we basically have to hope another event pops up at some point. Okay. In which case, let's maybe work on our shaman. Currently, them not supporting me doesn't really do anything. But if I ever get a church holding, having them like us would be good. So, and this is going to be hard, but I don't know. Let's do it anyway. It's only got a 5% chance. Oh, wow, that is hard. Why is it so low? Oh, Callus dislikes compassionate. Oh, okay, so he just doesn't like us. We should be able to become friends with our son, right? Very easy. That's more like it. Okay. Let's go. How long is this taking to build? This is taking 3 years. Okay, we could potentially go to war in those 3 years. You've got no allies. I have allies. I could just go to war and call in my allies. Assuming my allies are available. None of them are doing anything. So yeah, I'm going to declare war on you. Conquer county. Cost me a little bit of piety to declare war. Oh, okay. So I guess we use piety instead of prestige. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, works for me. He's not a different faith, is he? No, okay. Oh, it might be because he's the same faith. But anyway. Let's go. And then I should be able to call in my allies. I might just call in our weakest ally. My logic for calling in our weakest ally would be that I can, yeah, keep the stronger allies for late or for like more difficult wars. Not that I think it matters too much. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's what I'm going to go with for now. Let's march our way No, I want you to go via land here so I don't take the embarking penalty. Wait, do I take embarking penalties? Or the disembarking penalties, I should say. I think so. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that says that I don't, so let's walk. And hopefully at some point you're going to raise some troops and come down here. Yeah. Why did you... Oh, that's not you who raised them. I thought that was them who raised a barter mission, but no. It's their neighbors raised a barter mission. Hey, your son has come of age. He is a thrifty clerk. Which means that he has 5 stewardship, which is lower than the person who's currently in as our steward. Which, again, doesn't seem possible, but anyway. Where's my allies' army? Oh, there it is. Wonderful. We'll just wait for that. I'm sure it's going to, yep, land on top of us here. And now we're just going to attack. They get defending in jungle, but we have double the troops. So, hopefully this is going to be fine. Befriend bridging gaps. I'm not going to do anything for that. He's just going to be our friend. Hey, is he our friend? Yay, I became friends with my son. Wonderful. I'm going to try and become friends with my other son as well. Perfect. And that also gives us 2 random skill points, which went into what? Well, oh, it's called Friendly Council, so I think it just went into our diplomacy, right? Yeah. That's good. So, even more diplomacy. And now we just get to sit here and siege. Reflections for the future. I'm drawn to a nearby temple by the faint claps of worshippers as they beseech the Wata Suwei for good fortune. It has been some time since I've had an opportunity for prayer and reflection. What should I focus on in the years to come? So I can go for my health, which is fine, but we're not that old, so we're not really worried about health for the next 5 years. Renown. That's 5%, which is basically nothing. Economic prosperity. That's quite nice, I guess, but again, it's basically nothing. That's also basically nothing. Or I can just gain 75 prestige. I might just take my 75 prestige. Yeah. Befriend a good word. Nope, I don't need to do anything to make this guy like me. We're already, like, you know, we're at 95%. So our alliance with that guy is broken. What about our alliance with you? Can we make one? No. But our whoever is marrying someone. Trying to figure out where this... So it's this one, right? Yeah, so she's going to end up marrying his brother, which will get us an alliance anyway when it goes through. Okay. That's fine. Now we just chill for a little bit. I gain 25 days of progress on my befriend, which we will do. And there we go. We have now got 100%. However, I can ransom this person for 10 gold, which I will do. And then I will end the war. Let's enforce our demands. And I have now taken their land. Great. Fantastic. And that is us up to our maximum domain limit. Now, there is a problem. And that problem is that my succession is now a little bit weird. Because my succession now means that you inherit that chiefdom and you inherit that chiefdom. Which isn't great. So we need to get another piece of land, which will then allow us to get our duchy. But we can't quite do that yet. Also, we need 125 gold when we eventually do that. But anyway, for now, it's okay. It also has nothing in it, basically, right now. So control is lowering levies and taxes, right? But I don't really care about the levies. And in terms of taxes, like, it doesn't... Like, does this doesn't give... Does this give tax here? Yeah, so it does give tax. I'm trying to figure out how much tax it gives, but I can't see it on that one. I've lost it on the UI. But anyway, it's not going to give us very much tax. I can see it up here, actually. That's an easier way of doing it. Yes, this one only gives us 0.2 anyway. So yeah, I actually don't think that control does anything here. Yeah. Currently. I don't think it does anything meaningful. But we'll still probably raise control, but I'm just like... Not really that important. We'll leave you sitting there for 7 years to raise control. Cool. Cool. I'm ill. Oh, just treat me normally. Thank you. Okay. Finally worried at seeing the ill thing pop up. We become friends with our son. And we can give somebody a gift, but I'm not going to do that because that's a huge portion of my income. Okay. So, we're now friends with our son. What did we get from him? We got 2 intrigue. Nice. Okay. Cool. And with that, I think we are going to end the episode for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider commenting, subscribing, all that sort of stuff. I only say it on the first episode of a series because it really helps with search ranking on the first episode. And if you've seen other series, you'll see me do this every time on the first episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.